Hello again, Year 3, and thank you for joining again today for our next science lesson, where we're going to continue our learning on the nappy challenge once again. Let me quickly share my screen so we can get started together. As always, we're going to start with some recap questions, recapping on our previous units and some learning from this unit as well. So question 1, who invented the disposable nappy? Hopefully, you'll have found that out through your research. I'm not actually going to reveal the answer for that one just now because we're going to come onto it later this lesson. So if you're not sure, hold on, we will come back to that one. Question 2, true or false? Light can go around corners. I'm going to edit that now. Light can go around corners. Is that true or is that false? And true or false, fossils are formed quickly. As always, if you want some extra time, pause the video and have a go at those. Otherwise, I'll go through the answers in just a second. Question 1, as I said a moment ago, I'm not going to share the answer just now. We'll come back to that one later. Question 2, true or false? Light can go around corners. Now, we would usually say false. Light can travel only in straight lines. But when I was in class last week, one pupil said to me, Mr. Foster, what about if you hold a mirror and put it onto the corner of the put it around the corner? You can then direct the lights into the mirror and make the lights go around the corner by reflecting it. And I thought, wow, what a wonderful scientific answer. And they've proved that light can go around corners if you have a mirror to reflect that light. But the key piece of learning there is light does travel in straight lines. Even when it hits that mirror, it reflects off in another straight line. True or false? Fossils are formed quickly. That one is false. Fossils take tens of thousands of years to form, and they do take a long, long time. So that one is false. Moving on, our learning intention is the same as yesterday. We are going to research nappies, but you did all of your hard work yesterday. You did all of that research that I set you. So whilst we're going to use that same skill, we're using external sources of evidence. We've done the hard work. We're just going to be using that evidence today for another task, and I'll explain about that in a moment. As a bit of a starter question to get our brains warmed up, which one is the odd one out? What is the odd one out and why? Is it the logs, the bottle of water, or the glass? Now I'm going to give you a bit of a clue. There's not a right answer, there's not a wrong answer. As long as you can explain why, that's fine. So you could say the odd one out is blank because. I'll give you a moment to have a think. Maybe you can say your answer aloud or even jot it down. So I think the odd one out is the logs, because that is the only object that is opaque, which means it doesn't let any light through it. I wonder if you had a similar answer, or I wonder if you had something different. As I said before, as long as you can explain your answer, that is wonderful. There is not a right or wrong answer for that one. Now, to recap on last lesson, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes now, and you'll need to pause the video for this, to write down as much as you know about nappies. It can be anything at all. It can be things you found out from last lesson when you did your research. It could be things you found out this unit through our learning, either in school or on these videos. So take that 3 minutes now, have a go at jotting some things down, and I'll go through some of the information that I found out recently in a moment. We'll come back together there. I'm going to share with you some information I have found out throughout this unit. You might have some of the same things as I've got here. So a nappy is a piece of clothing. It is worn by those who cannot control their urine or feces, which is usually babies. They wear it to absorb that urine and that feces. Diapers, which is another word for nappies, can be made of cloth, which would usually be cotton, that can be washed and washed again. But these days, most of them are disposable, which means we put them in the rubbish. It's the American word. They've used the word garbage, but we put them in the rubbish after they are used. Disposable diapers, or nappies, are usually made of plastic or man-made artificial fibers and contain chemicals that are very absorbent. So when we did our lesson where we deconstructed a nappy, we took it apart and we found that there's some absorbent crystals within the nappy, and that's what does the hard work of the nappy. That's what absorbs the liquid within. Diapers or nappies are mostly used by children from birth until the child has learned to use the toilet. And in the United Kingdom and several other countries, a diaper is called a nappy, short for napkin. The word diaper is used here because this was from a website which presumably is American. And it is thought that Marion Donovan invented the disposable nappy. So that goes back to the question on the starter, who invented the disposable nappy? Was thought to be Marion Donovan who invented that. So well done if you found out that piece of information last time around. And we're going to use that piece of information today. We're going to use that research today to help us with our task. So today you will pretend to be Marion Donovan and you will write a letter to parents to encourage them to use disposable nappies. Now, before we get to that, there's some questions that we need to think about. Now, we need to encourage them. We need to persuade parents why they're such a great thing. So think about these questions. What is good about disposable nappies? How do they work? And how is it better than reusing a nappy? What do you think? Maybe you can share some ideas with someone near you. Maybe you can jot them down. I'm going to share some of mine to help you. So what is good about disposable nappies? It requires no cleaning. We just simply put that nappy into the bin, the rubbish gets taken away. We don't have to worry about it anymore. So it's very convenient. How do they work? They work in a similar way to any nappy would. They absorb the feces and the urine. And once the nappy has been used, as I said before, it gets thrown away so that we don't have to worry about that anymore. And how is it better than a reusable nappy? It's better because you don't have to wash them thoroughly and clean them so you can reuse them. Because obviously, you can imagine if we have a reusable nappy, it takes quite a lot and quite a thorough clean before it can be reused again. Now, your challenge today is to write a persuasive letter to parents, encouraging them to use nappies. Now that sounds like quite a tricky challenge, so I've given you a bit of a structure that you can follow. I've said you should start the letter with "Dear parents across the world." And then an introduction. I am writing to you to explain why nappies are so wonderful, could be your next thoughts. Why disposable nappies are the next step that you should take in your life. Why disposable nappies are going to change your world forever. Then paragraph 1, you need to explain why disposable nappies are great. So disposable nappies are great because they require very little cleaning, that you don't have to worry about them once you've used them, that you can just throw them away, something along those lines. Paragraph 2, explaining how they work. So disposable nappies work in a similar way to regular nappies. First, you, and I'm not going to give you the thoughts there, but maybe first you use them, next you, and so on. And once you finish that, you want some sort of sign off that's going to sum up what you've said so far. So you might say, I am certain that you will agree disposable nappies are far superior to reusable nappies. Could be my sentence there. To help you with this, I've included some persuasive sentence starters. I won't read you all of these, but let me just pick 2 or 3. So it is quite obvious that, you could use that to say, it is quite obvious that disposable nappies are better than reusable nappies because, without a doubt, it will make your life significantly easier. And I feel extremely confident that these will change your life forever. They're some of the ways you could use those phrases. And if you want an extra challenge once you've done that letter, can you write a letter back to Marion Donovan explaining why disposable nappies aren't great, why they're a bad thing? You might need to think about the damage they might have towards the environment. If we just throw them away, where do they all go? Something for you to think about. If you want to have a go, pause the video now. If you want a little bit more help, I'm going to give you an example of my one in just a moment. So if you're still feeling a bit stuck, you can listen to my example and then have a go at your own. Otherwise, have a go now. If you are using Microsoft Teams, I've included some sentence starters on there that you could type them straight onto to complete your learning. And I've included this sheet with the persuasive sentence starters too. Let me share my example for those who want a little bit more support. Dear parents across the world, I'm writing to you today to explain why you should stop using your disgusting old reusable nappies and why you should start using my hygienic and convenient disposable nappies. Many people across the world agree that disposable nappies are great because they make cleaning the baby so easy. Aren't you fed up of spending hours and hours of your day cleaning unpleasant used nappies? The smell alone is enough to make you feel ill. Clearly, you would rather save time and leave that smell behind. Disposable nappies work in a similar way to regular nappies. First, you put the nappy on as usual. When it has been used, you remove the nappy and simply throw it in your bin. That is it. I must say, it is clear that this process is much simpler than having to go through the whole cleaning process each time. I am certain that you will agree disposable nappies are far superior to any alternatives, so go out and buy them today. I hope you all enjoy your new free time, Marion Donovan. There's my example. I look forward to hearing yours shortly, year 3. Thank you for joining Science Today and see you next time. Bye.